Jury selection is scheduled to start today for the trial of a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend. Richard Thorpe is charged with murder in the death of Virginia Cookson. She was found strangled in her home in Bangor in 2024. Court documents say Cookson and Thorpe had begun dating in April of that year and broke up shortly before her death. They also say days before Cookson was killed, her family reported that Thorpe had shown up at her home and that he had recently threatened to kill her. State and federal authorities continue to investigate the fire and explosion at Robbins Lumber Mill in Searsmont.
Officials haven't shared how the fire started just yet. The Department of Public Safety, the Fire Marshal's Office, and the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives are still looking into all of this. So in all, there are more than 45 people investigating. They say 46 communities offered firefighting resources, and nearly 300 firefighters worked to put that fire out. The head of the ATF station in Boston says they will work on piecing together the scene and documenting it extensively.
They'll use records and pictures and documents to show what it did look like, along with witness statements. So they go in and they start recreating that scene, and then what they'll do is, once it's thoroughly documented, they will then process that scene.
On the state level, the Fire Marshal's Office says it has a rough but tentative timeline for the current investigation.
We're hoping to, have it wrapped up in days, but wherever it leads us, we'll take it from there. We have the resources on site, and we're going to keep ATF is committed to staying here as long as it takes to figure out what's going on.
The fire marshals say today they will be bringing cranes on site to start removing larger pieces of the silo that was on fire. The goal is to get to the areas below so they can determine what caused that initial fire.
Officials also say they are working to secure state and federal line of duty death benefits for the family of firefighter Andrew Cross, who died responding to that fire on Friday. There will be a public visitation tomorrow from 5 to 8 at the Riposta Funeral Home in Belfast. The family asks that instead of flowers, any donations can be made to the Morrill Fire Department in Andrew's name. Governor Mills has ordered that flags be lowered in his honor on Friday. According to his obituary, Andrew's memorial service is scheduled for Friday at Vera City Chapel in Morrill. He is described as an outdoorsman and someone who was active in his community and who came from a large and loving family.
Tomorrow, all U.S. and state flags across Maine will be lowered in honor of Gerald Talbot and Maine Game Warden Joshua Tibbetts. State leaders say funeral services for both men will be held tomorrow as well. Talbot, who died earlier this month, was Maine's first black legislator and founding president of the NAACP in Maine. Tibbetts was killed on the job last week after a plane crash in Avon. The ceremony for Talbot will be in Portland, and Tibbetts' funeral is in Bangor.
We are learning more about the 2 women from Maine who were injured in a shooting in Charleston, South Carolina over the weekend. Charleston police say one person was killed after an argument outside of a restaurant on Sunday. Police say the women were not involved in the argument. They are expected to recover. Joanna Witherall is the owner of Jibe Cycling. She says both women are spin instructors at Jibe's Yarmouth and Portland locations. Their names are Julia and Kerrigan. Witherall says that they were visiting Charleston for the weekend. She says the shooting has shaken the entire Jibe community.
We're rooting for the girls. They're really strong. They're in great care. And I think right now we're just trying to figure out how to, support each other and that also support the girls as much as we can.
You can find GoFundMe pages for both Julia and Kerrigan on our website. Both fundraisers say the money will help cover medical expenses and support their recovery.